Alrighty then, time to check out this absolute beaut of a gun. The Trumna Prime, which was just released with Zaku Prime, is a Master Rank 15 fully automatic primary rifle that does mainly heat damage with a decent chunk of impact on the side and a small 1.6 meter heat-based explosion on top. It has an absolutely enormous 250 round magazine, but also a fairly lengthy reload of 4 seconds. The crit chance is pretty good at 24%, the crit multiplier is above average at 2.4x, and the status chance is very nice as well at 34%. Additionally, as you score kills with a primary fire, you charge up a secondary fire which fires a massive bouncing ball which does 1150 heat damage in a 6 meter area every time it bounces. This has even better stats than the primary fire, with the crit chance being 38%, crit multi is the same at 2.4x, but the status chance goes all the way up to 50%. So let's give it a shot, shall we? Let's see, bigger mag, reloads faster, huge, that's big. Better crit multi, better status, slightly better damage, but that's only in impact. And then you have better damage on the bouncing ball. So not like a massive upgrade, but definitely an upgrade. Time for a potato. There we go. And let's slap on an adapter as well. We will most likely end up with Deadhead, but for now I want to try Merciless, because that reload, yeah, 3.1 seconds, that's not the worst thing in the world with that 250 round mag. Let's get the galvanized trio on there, chamber for the multi-shot. We're gonna run scope. I'm not sure about it. Maybe we will try delay instead, but for now let's run scope and aptitude. Now aptitude doesn't work on the AoE, but it does work on the direct hits. I think it's worth it. Vital sense for some crit damage. We could go vital and hunter munitions, but I think for now let's clean this up a little bit. We're gonna go corrosive and we're actually gonna boost the heat. There we go. I don't want to proc too much corrosive, and then we need to figure out something for the last slot. Hammer shot, maybe? Maybe. Okay, let's do a Grenadier battle group. Oh, that's why I was running Deadhead. I remember now, we need to run Deadhead. There we go. And we need to get a stabilizer mode on there to eliminate the recoil. Otherwise, it's damn near impossible. We don't have enough capacity. Let's take out thermite rounds. It's damn near impossible to get reliable headshots because the recoil is way too much. See, that's what I was saying. Look, what? Look at that. Does the normal Trumna have an effect like this? Look at the side of the gun, the floating little the things. That's so cool. What about the secondary fire? Ooh, big damage. Very nice. Hello. How are you doing? Finally, we can finagle the forma around. I don't like having my mods out of order. Let's move these about a little bit. Move that there, that there. There we go, much better. And thermite rounds, we're gonna need one more. That should be it. Yep, lovely. I think we're gonna go with a V because 3 Vs and a D, that's good. 2 Vs and 2 Ds, that's a bit sketchy on a gun. Hammer shot. There we go, that's gonna be the last mod. Wait, is this the exact same build that I did on the normal Trumna? It is, isn't it? Makes sense though. The ramp up is very good, excellent even, especially with Harold helping out. And then once you're ramped up, yep, the damage is fantastic. Yes. Wowee, that's very nice. Let's try the bouncing ball again. I forgot to trigger scope. Bloody hell. Let's try that again. Get a few more kills and boop. Yep. Nice. I know this might not be the most popular build for the Trumna, but I think it's like the best, like general, like maybe entry build, because it feels so nice. It's such a comfy build, and the damage it does is more than adequate for Steel Path. Like 9 out of 10 times, maybe even 10 out of 10 times actually. I will take a comfy build that does adequate damage over a cumbersome build that does excellent damage. One thing I will say about the Prime is that reloading it doesn't feel anywhere near as bad as it does on the normal Trumna, because you have a bigger mag and you reload it faster. So even if you don't get like an Eximus unit to reload it via blood for ammo, which is what you should mostly use for a weapon like this, it doesn't feel terrible to reload it every now and then. You can also use, which one is it, the tech mod set? The one that reloads it when you holster it. The one downside, and it's quite a clear downside as well of this build, is that you have to aim down sights all the time, and that's not something that everyone wants to do. I don't want to do that all the time. You know, sometimes I want to aim down sights, but I don't want to have to aim down sights. The fix for that is pretty simple. You just take out scope and replace it with crit delay, but you will lose quite a bit of crit in the process. I don't find it to be too cumbersome here because the zoom isn't that aggressive. And we're also removing the recoil so the screen doesn't shake all over the place. I just realized Harold is actually not the best pet for this. We want to run, where is he? Bigus Nichus, there he is. And let's swap him to Hellstrom. Vigilante mods work for your primary, even if they're on your pet. Plus I have, I think it's called Reinforced Bond, the one that gives you a bunch of fire rate. The extra fire rate feels absolutely terrific here. I mean, yeah, you do empty out your mag faster, but the extra DPS you get from it is great. Plus the Vigilante mods giving you, you know, orange crates like 15-ish% of the time is a really nice addition as well. Pretty much what I expected when I saw the stats. It's just a better version of the Trumna. Which makes sense, you know, from something that's called the Trumna Prime. No Acolyte. Again, we're simply too fast, unfortunately. Which one of you is it gonna be? Violent. Greetings. Now, this should be pretty simple. Boop. Yep. Secondary fire is, as you can see, quite good versus the Acolytes. And that wasn't a very good hit either. If you get it to bounce on top of the Acolyte, you can one-shot it. So here's the final build for the Trumna Prime, and it's actually the same one we did on the standard Trumna because the weapons are fairly similar, surprisingly enough. We have Galvanized Chamber for multi-shot, Galvanized Aptitude for status chance, and Condition Overload on direct hits. This does not work on the AoE splash damage on the primary fire or the damage of the secondary bouncing ball, but it does add a lot of DPS to the direct hits of your primary fire. We followed it up with Galvanized Scope for crit chance, a Vital Sense for crit damage, a Hammer Shot for even more crit damage and additional status chance. Then you have a choice between either Thermite rounds to boost the heat damage and go with Corrosive and Heat, or you can go Rime rounds or Primed Cryo rounds so that you get Corrosive and Blast for a little bit more AoE but less single target. Now if you do decide to go with Blast, I would recommend you take out Hammer Shot and replace it with Rifle Elementalist for more status damage, as it will buff your blast procs quite significantly. And finally we have Malignant Force and High Voltage for corrosive damage and status chance. Now for the Exilus we run Stabilizer, which in combination with our primary Deadhead Arcane completely removes the recoil, which then allows us to headshot enemies very reliably. It also makes the weapon feel better when you're aiming down sights. Now our pet of choice here is actually a Moa or any other pet that can run a weapon with Reinforced Bond for the extra fire rate, and then whatever weapon, I personally run the Hellstrom for Vital Priming as well, with 3 or 4 Vigilante mods, because these mods work even if you have them on your pet, so we can get a 3-piece set bonus even though we don't have a single Vigilante mod on our weapon. The Trumna Prime is simply a better version of the Trumna. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. What a profound statement, I know. But it's true, it's just a slightly better version of the original gun. The one thing that makes the biggest difference for me is actually the magazine size and the reload time going from 5 seconds to 4. It makes the weapon feel considerably nicer if you're not using blood for ammo to reload it or the synth mod set to reload it while it's holstered. I despise long reloads, right? Hate them, but I didn't actually mind reloading this weapon because the ratio of firing to reloading with a 250 round magazine and a 4-second reload is not that bad. Plus, there's a good chance you will run into an Eximus in those 250 rounds that you can use to reload via blood for ammo. So all in all, I have nothing but praise for the Trumna Prime. It looks better, it does better damage, and it feels better, so definitely give it a shot. And as always guys, I thank you very much for watching and I hope you've enjoyed the video. Then I would also like to extend a special thank you to all the channel members. Thank you very much guys, I really appreciate your support, it means a lot to me. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.